Advance your career with a graduate degree in international relations from the Johns Hopkins School of Advanced International Studies. Attend an information session to learn more about our flexible degree programs, innovative coursework, and world-class faculty at sais.jhu.edu.
Are you struggling to bring effective cybersecurity education into your classroom? Project Aries, the future of competency-based cyber education, combines realism and gamification into hands-on labs to empower, encourage, and engage students in becoming the next generation of cybersecurity professionals. Learn how Project Aries equips instructors by visiting our website at projectaries.academy.
Hey, it's Tony Bruschi. If you enjoy this podcast, Real Ghost Stories Online, be sure to check out our other paranormal podcast, The Grave Talks, with new episodes every Monday and Tuesday. Just search The Grave Talks wherever you download podcasts. Now, here's a 15-minute preview of one of this week's episodes of The Grave Talks. Today on The Grave Talks, the demons of Lizzie Borden. A conversation with Sam Baltrusis. Lizzie Borden, everyone thinks they know the story. Everyone thinks it's an open and shut case. And maybe there are some playful spirits at what is now a bed and breakfast. Everyone better think again. Today, we dive into the dark story of the Bordens and uncover more than just a tale of murder, but rather a tale of a dark entity that possibly took over several of the Bordens over decades and may still be at work today. Suppose you've watched the Discovery Plus documentary on the topic. In that case, we're going to take you one step deeper as we discuss this case with a man who experienced the spirits, both good and evil, firsthand in that very film. Sam Baltrusis, today on The Grave Talks.
So my knowledge of the Borden case was pretty much, I've written 13 books, and 2 of the books featured the Borden murder. So I was a journalist for 20 years, and one of the first articles I ever pitched when I worked for Newsweek was on the Borden murder house being turned into a bed and breakfast. Mm-hmm. So I had, I would say like 20 years of experience, but I would say that, looking at the murders with a lens of trying to figure out who done it, it's one of those things that you can never really figure out. So I kind of gave up that approach and wanted to focus more on the spirits that were associated with the house, because having gone to the murder house on 2nd Street in Fall River multiple times, I was connecting to the spirits, and I wanted to kind of get their point of view and and talk to the spirits. So I would say that my experience with the murder case is advanced, but I wanted to do something that was like 2.0. I wanted to go to the next level.
Mm-hmm. I mean, everybody has, the Lizzie Borden, of course, there's the nursery rhyme. There's so much, attached to that specific case. And then people go to the bed and breakfast and, the assumption's made that Lizzie did it. And obviously she was acquitted. I mean, where does the knowledge sit? Obviously it is kind of up in the air, but just tell me, where is the general consensus as far as Lizzie actually being the one that did this?
So having done all the research and getting to know all the potential suspects, I strongly believe that Lizzie Borden was the only possible person to commit the crime. Okay. But if you look at sort of when it comes to her frame, she was a small framed woman. She was 32 years old. She had no signs of being psychotic and murdering her stepmother and father. So that part has always been a mystery to me. So looking at the actual, the case and looking at the specifics of the case, there are people that we should look at and re-examine, like Uncle John Morse. John Morse had a pretty, interesting alibi for the day of the murders in August of 1892. He actually was able to say, I talked to this gentleman on my way to visit so-and-so's house. It was actually another family member that he was visiting. But other things that he did too, like he actually slept in the room of the murder room where Abby was murdered the night of the murders, which to me is odd. If I would not want to sleep in a crime scene. And also too, like he visited like out of the blue. So he would sometimes come in and stay at the house periodically, but he came the day before. And so John Morris has always been someone that I've been suspicious of. Another person that was at the scene of the crime was Bridget Sullivan, the maid. And as someone who connects with the spirits, she's always wanted to communicate to me as a clairvoyant her involvement with the murders. And having I've had dreams for years about this case. And they were terrifying. So she would pin me to the bed and show me that she was hiding the weapon in a closet on the third floor. So she's always been someone that I don't think she actually committed the murders, but she may have covered up the murders. So yeah, there are a lot of people that should have been looked at more closely. But I do think that if you get down to it, Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her father and stepmother several whacks.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, so that's ultimately what it comes down to. So I mean, tell me. Yeah. I mean, you did the article for Newsweek years ago, and obviously way before this documentary. It sounds like that. Was that kind of your first interaction with the house? Was putting together that piece?
Yeah, so when this is in the 90s, so yeah. I actually I went to college in Boston. I just moved to New York City, and I knew about the house, but I actually was not able to visit it when I first wrote that article. But I did even back then. I was specializing in the Salem witch trials, so I was kind of focused on the Salem witch trials. But my other area of interest was definitely was Lizzie Borden, the Borden murder. So I had two things that. Turns out that I'm actually related to both the Putnam family, who were the major accusers during the Salem witch trials, and Lizzie Borden. So I would say that my perception of Lizzie Borden was very much of a caricature. I thought of her as like a sort of as a bad person. I didn't as a murderess and someone that killed her stepmother and father. So it was really much black and white thinking and kind of villainizing someone that turned out to be my cousin, which I didn't find out until years later.
Sure. That must have been very odd to kind of discover that. To find that you have that connection, and then you were saying you had dreams about this stuff for years. How did that sort of start to come on?
So the dreams happened, I would say about 15 years ago. I would actually be in a house that turns out to be the murder house. And I would see what looked like a woman wearing 1800s era garb. She's holding a hatchet, and you see a man sitting on a couch with his head kind of reclining on the couch, and it's black and white. And I see subtitles going beneath while this dream is moving forward. And you see what looks like a sort of a nefarious-looking man wearing a derby hat right behind the woman holding the hatchet, like as if he's like a puppet master. And the part that always would make me scream when I would wake up, I would read the subtitles, and at the very end, like it would say at the bottom, Diablo did it. Diablo did it. And I woke up, and to me, that I interpreted that as the devil did it. And that kind of gave me, I guess, there may be something more sinister involved with the case. And I've always thought that. I thought that from the very beginning, that even though Lizzie Borden may have physically committed the crime, was she in her right mind? And people do argue that there may have been mental illness involved. And if you look at our family lineage, there's a history of heinous crimes, and that's something that actually came out during the research for this documentary, The Curse of Lizzie Borden. So I think that it's possible that she had dissociative disorder, and she may have kind of separated from her body, so she wasn't mentally there, which would explain the extreme strength that she would need to take to do an overkill. I mean, both Abby and Andrew were killed to an extreme. It was a crime of passion. And, can this small framed woman do that? I don't think so. You need something else to commit that kind of crime with that much passion and anger. So I really have looked at this case tentatively. It interests me, but I also felt because of the dreams, I was scared to even go there. I was afraid to even walk in the house, much less spend an overnight at the house. And I did. I've been able to do that multiple times. But when I investigate, I don't stay at the house because of those dreams. I mean, it's just been so terrifying for me to actually spend the night in the house.
When you first had those dreams, I mean, something kind of came, like oftentimes when those things happen, it's like, well, that was a weird one to have tonight. Did you know right away that what you were viewing was the Lizzie Borden case, or were you kind of perplexed as to what was that? Where was that?
Yeah, and so I definitely didn't know what it was, and I thought it was just sort of like me seeing a movie, or like a mind movie. And I'm also dealing with the fact that I'm accepting my ability as a clairvoyant while this is happening. And I've always had abilities, and a lot of times the spirits would communicate through my dreams. But this one was different. This one was haunted me, and it kept replaying over and over and over again for multiple years. I didn't realize it was actually the Lizzie Borden house that I was dreaming until I went inside. And that wasn't until I would say 2012, 2013, when I was able to go inside, and I remembered the wallpaper and also even the couch. Even though it's not the same couch that was there in 1892, it's the same design of the couch. Yeah. So once I was able to kind of go, oh my gosh, that's what I was dreaming. Yeah. And then other dreams started to actually happen after that in other rooms of the house that I've never been into, like Bridget Sullivan's room. And at that point, I hadn't been in that room, but since then, I've actually stayed in that room multiple times.
When you first stayed at the house, I'm assuming that was pre-doing the documentary that everybody's talking about right now, correct?
Right, yeah. So when I first stayed at the house, it was, I would say, about 7 years ago. Okay. And I will tell you, people that know me know how difficult that was for me to do.
Yeah, that's my question, is how was that experience for you the first time that you actually stayed there?
So the first time I walked into the house, the first time I actually walked into the house was actually, I went on a tour, and, of course I felt the emotion of Abby Borden, especially in the John Morse room where she was murdered. So I was picking up the emotion the first time I visited, but when I spent the night, it was a very spirited night. So I walked into the back door into the house, right by the location where where the dream took place, which is right by the parlor and where the couch is, and then there's the dining room area, and the shadow figure darted right by when I walked in. So I knew it was going to be spirited. So I ended up, going on the tour, which they give you if you stay at the bed and breakfast. I'm staying up in the Bridget Sullivan's room, which is another room that was significant in my dreams. And I had one eye open, one eye closed. I had experiences the whole night. I felt like there was actually a rocking chair that moved up while I was trying to sleep next to my bed, as if the spirits of the house were looking out for me while I was sleeping. That terrified me. Yeah. Around 3 a.m, the group. So I didn't go with a group that I just wanted to kind of go on my own, just to experience it. And when people found out who I was, they're like, "Oh, we have to investigate the house." And so there's a group, a mother and daughter from New Jersey. We kind of hung out that night, and they're like, "Hey, let's go on down in the basement." And I'm like, "I don't think that's a good idea, guys. I think the basement is, as we say here, wicked haunted." Mm-hmm. And so we head down to the basement, and I heard what sounded like a hissing noise downstairs, and I ran upstairs. I'm like, I can't do it. Well, the mother and daughter were so terrified from that experience, they ended up leaving the house at 1 a.m. Oh, wow. And yeah, right around right when we went down there to investigate. So I would say that the first night was probably my most eventful night, but it was sort of a foreshadow of what was to unfold over the years and my experience in that house. it got progressively darker as I spent more time there.
Hope you enjoyed this 15-minute preview of one of this week's 2 brand new episodes of The Grave Talks. To hear the rest and get new episodes every Monday and Tuesday right in your podcast feed, search The Grave Talks wherever you download podcasts and press subscribe or visit thegravetalks.com.
Advance your career with a graduate degree in international relations from the Johns Hopkins School of Advanced International Studies. Attend an information session to learn more about our flexible degree programs, innovative coursework, and world-class faculty at sais.jhu.edu.
There's never been a better time to switch to Xfinity. Now until December 6th, get a $200 prepaid card when you get gig speed internet during the Xfinity Black Friday sales event. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. There's never been a better time to switch to Xfinity. Now until December 6th, get a $200 prepaid card when you get gig speed internet during the Xfinity Black Friday sales event. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply.
Want to know the secret to a great night's sleep? It's Purple. Why? Because only Purple mattresses have the Gel Flex Grid. It's the reason why Purple mattresses are soft where you want it, firm where you need it, and instantly respond to movement. The Gel Flex Grid flexes around pressure points to support your whole body, no matter how you sleep. Plus, the Gel Flex Grid is 80% air. It breathes, so you're not too hot or too cold. Learn more about Purple mattresses and the Gel Flex Grid at purple.com. Purple, reinventing sleep.
Glenfiddich's Richest 25 campaign aims to challenge the historically unitary and largely misinterpreted vision of wealth and what it means to live a life of riches that is commonly displayed in culture. Richest 25 breaks from the single malt Scotch whiskey norm and helps redefine what it means to be rich. The launch of the Glenfiddich Richest 25 is a curation of 25 individuals that challenge traditional notions of wealth and express an alternate idea of what it means to live a life of riches. For me, it's about fulfilling work and flexibility in my time and nobody breathing down my neck except for you, Jen. And when there's too much breathing, I reach for my Glenfiddich 23. I want it to be old enough to have its own scotch if it wants to.
Skillfully crafted, enjoy responsibly. Glenfiddich 2021, imported by William Grant & Sons, Inc., New York, New York.
How many steps do you take before you have foot pain? Hi, it's Jonathan Cotton with the Good Feet Store, and the truth is, the battle between our feet and the concrete or asphalt usually winds up with our feet losing. Studies show that about 75% of people will experience some kind of foot pain by middle age. I found that out a number of years ago with plantar fasciitis, and I tried to remedy it with shoes and drugstore cushions that didn't work. Finally, I went to the Good Feet Store, was personally fitted for arch supports, and I loved them so much, I bought the store. Without a plan to protect and support your feet, it is likely you could one day be one of the millions living with chronic foot pain. Don't wait until pain demands that you visit us. Stop by the Good Feet Store today and let one of our trained arch support specialists fit you with your personal system of arch supports.
The Good Feet Store is located in Fairfax, Leesburg, Rockville, Baltimore and Hunt Valley, and in Annapolis in the Annapolis Harbor Center. For more information, go to goodfeet.com.
So we're here at Marshall's with Liz for some holiday shopping.
She's really nailing it this year, isn't she?
Oh, yep. She got a record player for Amy.
A gorgeous cozy sweater for Jason.
And some hot pink fluffy slippers for her sister.
The perfect gift.
Wait a sec.
She's getting a pair for herself.
Well, with prices this good, it would be rude not to.
You know what? She totally deserves it.
Oh, totally.
Happy holidays, everyone. See you at Marshall's.
Fabulous brands.
Feel good prices at Marshall's.
It's Black Friday now at JCPenney. Starting Friday, shop thousands of Black Friday deals across the store while they last. Our Yes Please diamonds are only $19.99 each. Bundle up the family in jackets under $25. Plus, update with cookware and cutlery, now $9.99 each after $10 mail-in rebate. These deals are yours for the gifting. Happy Black Friday, JCPenney. Offers valid on select items 11/19 through 11/21. Conditions and exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details. It's Black Friday now at JCPenney. Starting Friday, shop thousands of Black Friday deals across the store while they last. Our Yes Please diamonds are only $19.99 each. Bundle up the family in jackets under $25. Plus, update with cookware and cutlery, now $9.99 each after $10 mail-in rebate. These deals are yours for the gifting. Happy Black Friday, JCPenney. Offers valid on select items 11/19 through 11/21. Conditions and exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
Looking great is back in style. With the return of weddings, job interviews, in-person dates, and other events where you'll need to look your best, there's never been a better time to upgrade the suit that's been gathering dust in your closet. Indochino's 3-week Black Friday event has their lowest prices of the year on suits, shirts, outerwear, and more, all completely customized to fit you and your style perfectly. Indochino offers completely custom-fitted clothing at surprisingly affordable prices. Get a wardrobe personalized to your measurements, starting from just $2.99 for suits and $45 for shirts, with customizations included. Choose your favorite options for every detail, from the fabric and lapel to the monogram and statement linings. Measure yourself on the website in 10 minutes, then wear your suit out of the box. Get away from the video calls and back into looking and feeling amazing. Indochino's Black Friday event runs from November 8th to the 29th. Order custom garments with ease at Indochino.com or book an appointment at one of over 70 showrooms across North America.
Are you struggling to bring effective cybersecurity education into your classroom? Project Aries, the future of competency-based cyber education, combines realism and gamification into hands-on labs to empower, encourage, and engage students in becoming the next generation of cybersecurity professionals. Learn how Project Aries equips instructors by visiting our website at projectaries.academy.